Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad Lib Theater, where our contributors from GoFundMe.com tell us to say random words because pickle juice.
Pickle juice?
Yes, pickle juice.
Okay. Today we have 2 word lists, and we're going to be doing both of them. In fact, from now on, we will be doing all word lists that are sent to us accompanied by a $20 or more contribution to our Rewrite the Stars campaign. So keep that in mind.
Exactly.
Today's list comes to us from Dominique Harness and Raven McBain. Thank you, ladies. And hopefully this will inspire other viewers to give us words to use in future installments. Would you please read to us the first list, Rob?
I certainly will. Our first list we have from Dominique includes the words relative, cousin, color, blue, article of clothing, hoodie, plural noun, owls, size, medium, disposition, stoic, different color, red, type of plant, Venus flytrap, distance, 100,000 miles, 2 things found on a map, legend and directions, adjective, zombie-like, body part, eye, different body part, thumb, another different body part, thigh, celebrity name, Jack Nicholson, and verb past tense, boogied.
Boogied. I like that.
All of these words are going to be inserted into the tale of Little Red Riding Hood, so take it away, narrator.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl who went deep into the woods to visit her cousin. It was very cold, so she decided to bring along her favorite blue hoodie to keep her warm. It was her favorite because her parents weren't very creative or original and decided to name her after the hoodie. You tell me how a little girl gets named after an article of seasonal clothing. It's not even something she'd wear all the time, like a little blue dress or, little tennis shoes or something. Why do folks name her after something she'd only wear in inclement weather? It just seems like it'd give her kind of a complex or something. What did I tell you, umbrella? No. Her name doesn't bring up very good memories. She skipped happily. She skipped happily through the forest with a basket full of owls. Owls?
I guess.
Who? Probably singing.
Packs a basket full of owls.
You never know when you're going to need an owl. Harry Potter. That's how they send messages. So she skipped happily through the forest with a basket full of owls, probably singing tra-la-la-la-la or something. Tra-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la. Suddenly, she met a large and terrible wolf. In fact, one might even say that he was a medium, stoic wolf, as it were.
I'm medium and stoic? Hello, how are you today, young lady?
Instead of running away in abject terror from a talking wolf, Little Blue Hoodie politely replied,
I'm gonna see my cousin. She's not feeling well, so I'm bringing her this basket of owls to make her feel better.
Oh, what a sweet, juicy little thing you are.
Say what?
What a sweet, caring thing you are.
Did you say juicy?
What? No, you're silly. You're a silly little girl.
Pretty sure you said juicy.
No, I said you should probably gather some flowers for your dear old cousin while I bow out of this awkward conversation.
Said the wolf, looking around nervously.
I'm looking around nervously.
Little Blue Hoodie looked at the wolf as if to say, that boy ain't right. And then skipped over to the patch of flowers the wolf had mentioned. It just so happened that they were her cousin's favorite, red Venus flytraps.
Okay.
As she proceeded to pick some, the wolf casually, nonchalantly, and ever so innocently crept up behind her.
On a completely unrelated note, where might your cousin live?
Are you gonna eat her?
What? Oh, come now. You kids in your imagination. I'm just, curious. Making conversation? Savvy?
Hesitant, Little Blue Hoodie eventually said,
She lives in the only cottage for about 100,000 miles. Down the legend, past the directions.
Down the legend and past the directions. I love it. Sorry.
And pee.
No.
I have to pee.
No. And without saying another word, the medium stoic wolf slunk out of sight, leaving little Blue Hoodie on her own.
That guy was weird.
She said to the squirrel that had been staring at them for the last 5 minutes. After picking a big bouquet of red Venus flytraps for her cousin, little Blue Hoodie continued on her way. Finally, she arrived at her cousin's house, and she let herself in without even knocking. Her parents didn't teach her any manners, you see. Then again, they're letting their only child journey out in the woods on her own, so how zombie-like parents can they really be? What? That doesn't make any sense.
Zombie-like? Well, Mad Lib's not supposed to make sense.
Oh, that's a Mad Lib. I'm going, what did you write? Zombie-like?
I wrote
okay,
what they
yeah,
told
that
me to
makes all
write.
sense. Gotcha. Do as you're told. Good boy. Okay, so let's try this again. Then again, they're letting their only child journey out into the woods on her own. So how zombie-like as parents can they really be? That's pretty damn zombie-like. She saw her cousin lying in bed with the lights turned out.
Hey, cousin, what's been up?
Little Blue Hoodie exclaimed happily. She was silent. She being the cousin, I imagine. Little Blue Hoodie stepped closer, worried that her cousin might be really sick.
Damn, cousin, what big freaking eyes you got?
Better to see you with, my dear?
Cousin replied, sounding a bit like an exaggerated Keith Richards impression.
And what big thumbs you have?
Better to hear your rather personal comments with, my dear.
And what big thighs you have?
All the better to chew your ass out with. What's your deal, dearie?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, cousin, it's you.
You know, chew with your thighs? That sounds suggestive.
Oh, bye.
Oh, said Little Blue Hoodie. Oh my, said Little Blue Hoodie. More surprised than she figured she should be.
You were expecting Jack Nicholson?
No, it's just, I don't know, I was kind of expecting a medium stoic wolf to have come by and eat you or something and take your place. I don't know.
Oh, right. The medium stoic wolf did come to eat me, but you know, a little old lady who's living out by herself in the woods has to know how to defend herself.
With that, Cousin pointed to the far wall in the cabin by the front door. Cousin had boogied him to death. So,
Boogie,
boys
boogie,
and girls.
boogie.
Boogie, boogie, boogie. So, boys and girls, the moral of this happy little tale: if you leave your cousin alone to live in a dense forest swarming with predators, make sure she knows how to defend herself. The end.
Yay!
She had boogied him to death. I love that. Poor boogied to death wolf.
Raven,
Yes.
why isn't the wolf moving?
Because he's been boogied to death.
No!
And death.
And death.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on to Raven McBain's list of words. We've got great-grandmother, neon green, slipper socks, bears, double extra large, toppling, gold, again, Venus flytraps, very popular plant choice, 1 centimeter, rest stops and directions, also again with directions, very wet, toes, hair, nose, Madonna, and hot.
Let's do this again. This ought to be good.
Yes.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl who went deep into the woods to visit her great-grandmother. It was very cold, so she decided to bring along her favorite neon green slipper socks to keep her warm. It was her favorite because her parents weren't very creative or original and decided to name her after the neon green slipper socks, which I think is a little bit better. I love slipper socks. So I'm thinking I would much rather have my child named Neon Green Slipper Socks.
Except that was all she was wearing.
Okay. Somehow I can see my kid running around in nothing but slipper socks. But anyway, that's a whole different story.
Oh, dear.
I didn't raise prudes, put it that way.
Moving on!
Moving on! Sorry. Oh, where are we? Okay, seasonal clothing. Yes. Better than little blue dress. Yes. Da, 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 da. Okay, so I'm all for little neon green slipper socks. Like those better. She skipped happily through the forest with a basket full of bears.
That's a big basket.
which were a damn sight harder to tote than a basket full of owls, but there you are. Probably singing tra-la-la. These bears are freaking heavy.
Stop trying to swipe at me, bears.
Maybe they're little bears. Maybe they're teddy bears.
Mama.
Skip faster, Mama. Okay. She skipped happily through the forest with a basket full of bears. Probably singing tra-la-la-la or something. Suddenly she met a large and terrible wolf. In fact, one might even say that he was a double, extra large, toppling wolf. As it were.
I'm extra large and I'm toppling.
It's your line to start to say the wolf's line.
Say what?
Your
She's
line.
lost it.
Hello. Say hello.
Hello. How are you, young lady?
I love it how you have Wolf of Bob looking at the script like he's reading it.
I'm trying to look at little neon green slipper socks over here.
I'm sorry.
But I can't really see. I'm forced perspective because I'm huge.
You're looking down at at Rob's lap. Where is the little neon green slipper socks?
Hello. The eyes are up here. All right.
Never mind. I'm
Need a
done.
minute.
Oh. Whew. I need a drink.
We broke her.
Okay. as little graveyard girl, as the graveyard girl does, sippy sippy. Okay. Instead of running away in abject terror from a talking wolf, little neon green slipper socks politely replied,
I'm going to see my great-grandmother. She's not feeling well, so I'm bringing her this basket of bears to make her feel better.
"What a thoughtful gift."
Great-grandmother loves her some bears.
Woo! Wow, chicka, wow, wow. Oh, what kind of bears are we talking about here? They went from big bears swiping at you to little bear cubs to teddy bears, and now bears.
Happy Pride Month.
Yay!
Oh dear.
Okay. Carry on.
Ah, what a sweet, juicy little thing you are. I mean, what a sweet, caring thing you are. Did you say juicy? What? No, you're silly. You're a silly little girl. I'm pretty sure you said juicy. No, I said you should probably gather some flowers for your dear old great-grandmother while I awkwardly bow out of this awkward situation.
Awkwardly bow. Is that how you awkwardly bow?
That's how I awkwardly bow.
Okay. Said the wolf, looking around nervously. You forgot to look around nervously. And awkwardly bow.
I can't ad-lib!
little neon green slipper socks.
Breathe
breathe, baby.
Just got a Discord message from my kid. Not now. Mom's busy. Go away. Okay. Okay. Little neon green slipper socks looked at the wolf as if to say, "That boy ain't right," and then skipped over to the patch of flowers the wolf had mentioned. It just so happened that they were her great-grandmother's favorite, golden Venus flytraps.
As opposed to red Venus flytraps.
That's right. Venus flytraps are a very popular flower to bring to a sick relative.
Of course.
As she proceeded to pick some, the wolf casually, nonchalantly, and ever so innocently crept up behind her.
On a completely unrelated note... Where might your great-grandmother live? Are you gonna eat her? What? Oh, come on, you kids and your imagination. I'm just, curious. Making conversation. Savvy?
Hesitant, naturally, little neon green slipper socks eventually said,
She lives in the only cottage for about 1 centimeter. Down that rest stop's past the directions.
1 centimeter is not a very far walk.
Don't look at me, that's what it says.
And without saying another word, the double extra large toppling wolf slunk out of sight, leaving little green...
Slunk.
That looked very much so like awkwardly bowing out. Don't you have a different, slunk? That's not... You're supposed to be like, I don't know, slinky. That's not...
Slinky.
Okay, we'll go with that. You're weird. Okay, and without saying another word... Oh, they already did that.
Yes.
Leaving little neon green slipper socks on her own.
Man, that guy was weird.
You telling me? She said to the squirrel that had been staring at them for the last 5 minutes. After picking a big bouquet of golden Venus flytraps for her great-grandmother, little neon green slipper socks continued on her way. Finally, she arrived at her great-grandmother's house, and she let herself in without even knocking, because again, her parents didn't teach her any manners, and I hate it when people come into my house without knocking. I don't care how well I know you. Knock on my door. You don't know if I'm naked. You don't want to walk in. Okay, anyway.
Don't I?
Well, you might want to know. You don't have to knock.
Oh, right.
You have special permission. Oh, okay. Whew. But again, they're letting their only child journey out into the woods on her own, so how very wet as parents can they really be? Rather, obviously. You're all wet, buddy. She saw her great-grandmother lying in bed with the lights turned out.
Hey, great-grandmother, what's been up?
Little neon green slipper socks exclaimed happily. She was silent. Little neon green slipper socks, which is very hard to say. It's a very long name. Stepped closer, worried that her great-grandmother must be really sick.
Damn, great-grandmother, what big freaking toes you got? The better to see you with, my dear. And what big hair you have. The better to hear your rather personal comments with, my dear. And what a big nose you have. All the better to chew your ass out with. What's your deal, dearie? Oh, great-grandmother, it's you.
Said little neon green slipper socks, more surprised than she figured she should be.
You were expecting Madonna? No, it's just, I don't know. I was expecting a double extra large toppling wolf in here to take your place after eating you. Alright, the double extra large toppling wolf did come to eat me, but a little old lady who's living out on her own has to know how to defend herself.
With that, great-grandmother pointed to the far wall in the cabin by the front door. Great-grandmother had hopped him to death. So, boys and girls, the moral of this happy little tale is if you leave your great-grandmother alone to live in a dense forest swarming with predators, make sure she knows how to defend herself.
And, I don't know, maybe consult a baby book or something before you name your child Neon Green Slipper Socks. That's just dumb.
I like slipper socks. I want more. You can never have too many slipper socks. Apparently, or kids.
Are you going to name your child that?
I might.
You're a terrible parent.
Yes, right.
The end.
I call one of my kids Boogie, and the wolf was boogied to death in the last list. So there you go.
Are a horrible parent. You killed both of them. How could you? How could you do it? Oh, jeez. So, the end.
The end.
That's it. We're done. That was stupid.
We leave it to you to decide how much of this was scripted, how much of it wasn't. Little blue hoodie and little green slipper socks. Neon green slipper socks. If you want to see more Mad Lib Theater, you can suggest other Mad Lib scripts in the comments or by sending an email to bobsheaux@gmail.com. And keep sending us lists of words to use along with your $20 contributions to our GoFundMe campaign.
Exactly. See you guys later.
Bye!
Bye!